Welcome to the first season of Everything's Better with Science, Episode 8, entitled Making Your Own Skin Moisturizers. I'm your co-host, Ella.
And I'm your co-host, Maya. Today, our special guest is Shri, an 8th grader who has recently won second place at our junior high's annual science fair. Her project was about making your own skin moisturizers out of natural and affordable ingredients.
Hi, Shri. We are so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
So, Shri, what was your inspiration for your project?
The inspiration for my project mainly came from how my mom has made me and my siblings moisturize our skin daily since we were little. Now, if I skip a day, my skin usually ends up feeling itchy since it quickly dries out. I realized how valuable skin moisturizing was, which motivated me to use science to create my own lotion that anyone without access to expensive moisturizers could use.
Are you a witch? Because you seem to know a lot about itchcraft.
Good one.
Skin is the largest organ.
All right. Hello, Science Seekers, and welcome to another episode of the Science Seekers Show. It's Mr. Pfeiffer coming at you, and here comes our camera, and we're back. This episode is a little bit different than normal because we are doing a listener request. We had a viewer that wanted to get an episode done about skin products and moisturizer. And it just so happens that Mr. Pfeiffer has some students that did a podcast and a website and an entire experiment on skin moisturizer. So what a great way to highlight some more Mead-made students. So I do want to point out, we will put inside in this YouTube episode, we will put the link for this website and for that podcast episode so you can learn more about their experiment. But we just wanted to highlight some of the cool things that can happen with skin moisturizers. And this student went about creating her own moisturizer. And if we go ahead and you look at what I want to do for today's Science Seeker episode is talk about the scientific method. If you look to your left on the screen, this is kind of the components to what makes a good scientific method. And it's basically how you would do an experiment in an organized fashion. You can see how you got to do your research, find out all about skin moisturizers and what they are. Why is skin important? How does it work? And you can look at all the different parts and all the systems and how the skin is our largest organ, and then learn about what makes skin moisturizer. What are the ingredients here? Okay. From there, you got to ask yourself a question. In this case, the student wanted to know, well, what ingredients can I use from at home to make the best skin moisturizer to help me decrease the amount of oil that's in my skin? So she looked into all the different products and ingredients at home. And then you go into method and testing. You have to list out all the different components, all the different things that you would want to be testing. In this case, she's taking different ingredients. That's her independent variable. And her dependent variable was, what are you measuring? She was going to measure the amount of moisture and the skin oil percentage. You can see controls are those things that stay the same. And of course, you have a big old list of all the different materials you're going to need. You want to make sure all those materials are labeled clearly and that your experiment, no matter what you do, is repeatable. So you want to write a step-by-step procedure that's almost like a recipe to a cookbook. Tells the students how to go about making this moisturizer, and it talks about the experiment that person did. And this is all classic, different parts of what is the scientific method. You can see as an engineer, sometimes you got to go back and redesign things. You might make something the first time and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. Finally, you got to document your results. Usually this is done through what we call a data table, which this is, and graphs. These are your graphs. And you can see she did different various ingredients and tested them. And then she would measure there. And you can see all that information is right here. It's pretty amazing. And then the final component to a great scientific method is come up with a conclusion. What did you find out? What did you predict? What happened to be the best? All right. The 3 ingredients that were best in increasing moisture were aloe combined with glycerin and sweet almond oil. So you can read and see all of this student's amazing experiment down below. Take a look in the comments. Also, give that podcast episode a listen as well. We hope you guys enjoyed this Science Seeker episode about skin moisturizers and learn more about it by clicking on that website. Take care.